Hall of Fame wide receiver, friend of the show, Terrell Owens. Terrell, what up, brother?
What's going on, man?
It's great to have you on as always, man. How you been? What have you been up to?
Hey, he's been on everything. Have you seen his social media? He's a mogul.
Hey, man, I'm getting ready to launch my clothing line here at the end of the month, Prototype 81. I'm getting ready to launch my candle line as well.
Wow.
My wine already launched at the top of the year. So, man, I just got a lot of irons in the fire, man, just trying to stay busy, trying to stay active. I'm sure, as Rob has said, I've been on social media, doing a few things, just trying to train, stay in shape, all that good stuff. Us old guys, we gotta keep it sexy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Hey, please. I mean,
you need to tell that to Rob.
I know
he ain't keeping it sexy, T.O. Believe that.
No. I let myself go this summer, T.O. I was in good shape. I mean, there's a great picture of us remember we were at FS1? I was standing next to him. I had no paunch in my stomach. I was like, I'm feeling good standing next to T.O.
Yeah, you didn't look all that good, though.
It was a good picture. Yes, it was. All right.
All right, man. And then, the Olympics just wrapped up, so I was very in tune with that. I'm happy for April and Alex, winning gold in the beach volleyball. All that, the guys, they came back and kind of reasserted themselves, won the gold. Watched a lot of the track and field, a lot of the diving stuff, the gymnastics. So, man, the Olympics, it kind of, kept me occupied a little bit.
So you working out, obviously, but what sports do you play? Do you still play like basketball or, I don't know, tennis? And do you play anything or you just kind of work out?
I just, over the weekend in my hometown, Alexander City, Alabama, I just held my first annual softball tournament.
Oh, nice.
So it was an 8-team tournament. It was pretty cool. Double elimination. It was a lot of fun. We started at 9. Us black people, we didn't start on time. So
I know you had CP time. You started at 11, right?
So we didn't end up finishing it was almost 12 hours. I think we ended up finishing around like 8:30.
Wow.
But it was a good turnout, man. And the money that we used, that we raised, man, we're going to use that money to buy, kids, some school supplies and things of that nature, as school started to kind of resume. So that was good. And then I play basketball all the time. When I'm in LA, which I have been back and forth a little bit, I play with a bunch of guys out in Chatsworth at the General Grant Sports Center. So I play with a lot of guys that have, played overseas, some college experience, and just guys just trying to stay in shape. And I play softball out there as well in a couple of softball leagues.
Well, we know you're an NBA fan, so before we get to the NFL, we got to ask you this. What do you make of the Lakers adding Russell Westbrook and their age overall? Yeah, they're the oldest team in the league by almost 3 years, basically by 3 years on average. What do you make of the new Lakers?
Well, obviously age always comes into play when you see guys that, obviously you compare where they are now versus when they came into the league. But you think of guys that are still playing at a high level. I think Russell Westbrook is one of those guys. He still plays above the rim. I think with Russell Westbrook's game, I think obviously if he develops a consistent jump shot, then you have a dynamic player. But you have a dynamic player in what he does with the other intangibles of his game. He's a walking triple-double at any given time. But just think if he was consistent with his jump shot. You think about the offseason moves that the Los Angeles Lakers made. They're gearing up they're gearing up to put another banner up in Staples, and so that's what they're doing. And obviously everybody's gonna critique LeBron and is he slowing down? Is he aging? Of course he's aging. Is he able or capable of doing the things that he did when he was 21? Of course not. But he's evolved his game to where he's still at the top of his game. So I think the Lakers have made some very strategic moves. Obviously, with the re-signing, the coming back of Dwight Howard, who was just there a year ago, and the other pieces, you got Carmelo. I think it's going to be a gel. It's going to be a process that they have to gel together to kind of see what kind of chemistry they have. Because literally, you have, I think Kendrick Perkins said, you have a really an all-star team right there that's going to be playing during the regular season.
You're right. From 2010, team, I mean. It will be an all-star team.
It looked like the 2012 Olympic team is what it looks like.
Right, exactly.
Now, T.O., I just want you to know, when you buy your tickets to the Lakers this year, you got to understand they're starting the games at 4 o'clock now. It's the early bird special.
They're doing what now?
He's trying to be funny, T.O.
No, I said they're starting the games at 4 o'clock. The early bird special.
Wasn't funny.
T.O. wasn't listening. Otherwise, he would have been laughing. But it's all good.
Hey, you just need to work on your delivery, man. You need to work on your delivery, dog.
That's one of the things. That's on the
list. If I do, and David Allen Greer is trying to get me to go on stage to do a stand-up routine. If you're in L.A., you got to come, all right?
Oh, man, this is going to be funny.
I'm serious.
Is really going to be funny.
Yeah. David Allen Greer is like, he's been on me on Twitter. He's like, dude, we got to get you up on stage, all right? The time has come. And I think I want to try to do it in September coming up. And if you're in L.A., man, I want you to come be in the crowd. That'll be fun.
All right, cool. Don't think you're going to have me in the crowd, so you can get some material.
Yeah.
That is not happening.
No. I would not. I'm not doing that. It's going to all be about me and probably my cheapness and stuff like that, but it'll be fun.
Hey, let's see what you got. I never really pegged you to be the comedian of any sort, but hey, you never know. Maybe the pandemic has allowed you some time to develop some material.
Not really, but he gonna give it a try. He gonna give it that old college try.
Hey, let me ask you on the football side. The Athletic came out with the most intriguing players coming into this season, and they had Aaron Rodgers as number one, obviously with all the drama that went on in the offseason. Now he's back, and whether or not that affects the team or how Aaron Rodgers plays. He was great last year to win the MVP going away. But I said my number one pick would be Matthew Stafford. I watched the guy in Detroit his whole career. Everybody blamed everybody in the Lions except for him as the reason he never won a playoff game, never won a division. I think it's Matthew Stafford. He has the defense. He has receivers. He has everything. If they don't play well or they don't get to the Super Bowl or, as Chris says, the NFC Championship game, I think he could be exposed that maybe he is part of the problem.
Well, I mean, you bring up a great point. I mean, obviously being there in Detroit, I mean, they've been the Detroit Lions, the bad team for so many years, and that's been one of the the main reasons why they've been so bad is because they just I guess the organization bad, management, bad drafting. I mean, injuries, things of that nature, and I think. You look at the mainstay there, and that's been Matthew, and he's pretty much been the bright spot all those years. And there's been so many talented players that have come and gone. You think of Calvin Johnson and players of the like that have been there in the organization. Right, exactly, and they just haven't been able to really get rid of this stigma of just being the worst team in the National Football League. So when you look at his situation, I think for him, I'm sure there's going to be some added pressure there. I'm sure he wants to perform well, but I think if he just utilizes really the weapons that he has around him and allow those guys really to make the plays for him and not go out and try to do too much. There are going to be times and there are going to be moments in games where he's going to have to be Matthew Stafford. He's going to have to be the quarterback that everybody envisions him to be. But I think you guys said he has all the pieces in place, set the table for him for success. So again, all eyes are going to be on him. So again, if he doesn't succeed with this team, then I'm sure everybody's going to peg as he was a problem, there in Detroit. But it's a different team, different environment. I'm sure. I mean, you got to give this guy an opportunity to really get his feet wet, gel with his teammates, and he has a great coach in McVay there. So again, I think if he just goes out and just play, really just half of how he's played his time there with the Detroit Lions, then it's a recipe for some great things to happen.
T.O., Hard Knocks starts tonight with the Cowboys. You were on Hard Knocks with the Cowboys. What is it like? I would think it'd be a distraction and maybe hurt the team a little bit to have these cameras there. You know you're on the show. What is it like when your team is on Hard Knocks?
For me, I think it really, I guess, being on Hard Knocks and me not being a stranger to being in the limelight, having the cameras follow me, things of that nature. It really kind of prepared me for what I did, after football, just doing reality shows and things of that nature. So I just, the cameras always seem to find, the brightest stars. And I happen to be one of those guys when I was there with the Cowboys. But I don't think it's a distraction. Once you're out there, really it kind of motivates you. You know that the camera's always watching. That's really extra eyes that are going to be on you. In addition to, them evaluating, the young guys, evaluating talent every day, watching the practices. So, again, it basically just kind of really makes you hone in on really, enhancing your abilities and really going out every day trying to get better as an individual and trying to get better as a team. So it's really not that bad of a deal. You don't really think too much about it as an athlete when they're out there.
I got two questions about your time with the Cowboys. First, were you there when Jerry Jones got his facelift or not? Were you there?
No, I don't think I was. I mean, every year seems like you got a facelift. So,
Chris, you ever see his skin is so taut? Am I right? I mean, all I'm going to say is whenever Jerry sits down, his mouth slams shut because his skin is so tight.
He looking like Dick Clark, huh?
I know, it's ridiculous.
Hey, Chris, you see how he's practicing? He's using
you see.
He's getting ready for his stand-up?
Yes, definitely. I deal with it every night, T.O. And the thing is, I'm funnier than Rob. I don't even try to be funny, and I'm funnier than Rob.
Are you kidding? and number two, I saw somewhere where Jerry said he made the biggest mistake, with that franchise when they didn't bring back I just forgot his name, the coach.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson, when he didn't bring Jimmy back, they let the Eagles get involved. But is it the Cowboys get so much pub, but they've won like 3 or 4 playoff games in the last 25 years. Is that hard to believe when you think about that organization and what they have at their disposal, and just the history of that franchise, that they haven't been to an NFC championship game in 25 years and they've only won 3 or 4 playoff games?
Well, I think, with Jerry Jones, and I think it's been said that sometimes he gets in where he shouldn't be, and I think he should allow coaches to coach and the general managers to make those decisions. And when you're the owner of the team, you feel like you can do any and everything that you want to. And I think, if you go back to that situation with Jim, I'm sure he probably realized like he made a mistake. Just like I feel like, honestly, they made a mistake when they didn't re-sign me and they listened to internal sources or what have you and evaluating me, especially after I had signed an extension and they didn't bring me back, and thinking that I was the problem of what was going on in the locker room. But that, obviously, that didn't, end up being true because, like you said, they haven't won any playoff games in some time now. So right now, I think, Jerry just has to kind of just take some steps back, allow the coaches and the people that he has hired and put in place to really do their job, and allow him to, again, as an owner, oversee certain things, but allow the situation to kind of mature and really come to fruition. He's had some great teams. He had some great players there. And for whatever reason, they haven't been able to really get over the hump. Whatever that may be, if it's Jerry, being too involved, I think if he, take some steps back and be less involved and allow, some of those people that he has hired and put in place to make some of the decisions, then I think he'll be in a better situation.
T.O., next year, Tony Romo, you obviously played with him. You enjoyed your time playing with him. Rob, he's up for the Hall of Fame next year. Rob and I give him props. He was very good, but we don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Where are you at on Romo for the Hall?
No, I would probably agree. I'm gonna give it to you real. I mean, not just because he's my teammate. You're gonna assess his body of work.
Yep.
You're gonna assess it and really evaluate really the class that he's going in with versus some of the quarterbacks that are on the list or eligible to get in at the same time. So obviously he had stellar career there in Dallas, but is it worthy? Is it Hall of Fame worthy? That's not for me to decide. Obviously, he was very, very popular with the media there. We know, how I am and my thought process on, the process in which, guys are being nominated and who does the nominating. And that's mostly the sports writers. And so, obviously, I'm sure he had a better rapport with the media than I did. So that may factor into him, making it or not. So at the end of the day, it's all about your body at work.
If you're doing that, where's Donovan McNabb and other people? I think that he won't get in, but I think there'll be chatter because he's on television. He's on CBS, and he makes $17 million a year. And
trust me, it's the same situation. There's no knock, with my fellow Hall of Fame inductee with me and Randy Moss. The same kind of similar situation. He was, obviously in the media. People thought, or him being in the media, or saw him being in the media, that I guess he was a different so that may come into play and be taken into account. That he is in the media and he's loved and he's doing a great job as a colored commentator. So I have no idea. I don't understand some of the processes and everything that goes into how they nominate and guys are ultimately inducted into the Hall of Fame. At the end of the day, like I said, you really have to go to an individual's body of work, and based on who he's in the class with and all those things and who's been up and who's eligible, all those things I think should be taken into account.
All right, T.O., man, we appreciate the time, brother, as always.
Always, yes.
Good luck with all your endeavors, man. Like you said, you got a lot going on, man. We support you, and we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Absolutely, man. No doubt.
All right, T.O., follow my Instagram tweet. I'm funny, man. I got jokes all over the place.
That's a joke. That's a joke
right.
in itself.
That's the funniest thing he said. He begging for followers.
Right.